So on February the 2nd, I fell into a coma, and the doctors said that these were my final hours because now my organs had shut down. And my family, my brother and my husband and my mother were obviously very distressed. But as I was in the coma, what was unbeknownst to all of them, my eyes were closed and I was completely in this coma, but I was aware of everything that was going on around me. I could hear and see and feel everything that was happening. I could feel everything the doctors were doing. They were poking needles into me and putting in IV tubes and things like that. And my husband was by my bedside holding my hand. I could, not only could I hear what they were saying, it was like I could feel what they were feeling, like I was completely empathic to what they were feeling. And I could see and hear things that were beyond the room that my physical body was in. And I realized that I could even see my physical body. It was like I felt that I had become separate from my body. And it felt incredible. It felt just absolutely amazing. It was, for me, it was like the first time in years that I felt so amazing and so pain-free. The pain was gone, and I felt light. And I felt like I was really like free and expanded. And I also felt something which I can only describe as a feeling of unconditional love. And I know the word love has been overused, but it's the only word I can think of to describe what I was feeling, because it was like a euphoric kind of feeling. Like I felt like I suddenly realized that I don't have to do anything to prove myself. I don't have to do anything to feel that I deserve to be loved. I was loved just because I existed. And I don't remember ever feeling that way ever before in my life. And now I was no longer attached to my body, and here I was feeling this really incredible feeling of just like that I had a purpose, that I was loved and I was worthy. That's what I felt. And then I was also aware that my brother, who was, this was happening to me in a hospital in Hong Kong, by the way. And I was aware that my brother, who was in India, was rushing to get on a flight to get to Hong Kong to see me before I died. And so in that awareness, I felt I needed to stay alive, at least until he got to me, because I knew that if I died before he got to me, he would be completely distraught and broken. So I knew that I had to stay alive at least until he got to me, at least until he had a chance to say goodbye.
Do you ever wonder why that experience happened to you at that moment? Because, in another scenario, you might have died. And do you ever wonder why that happened, or do you not look that deep into it?
Oh, I do. And because as I went deeper into the experience, I reached a point where I had the choice of whether to come back or not. Because I reached a point where I encountered my deceased father. My father had died 10 years prior. And I felt that he was there to greet me. And he wanted me to know that it wasn't my time. But even though it wasn't my time to die, I still felt I had the choice. I could still choose to die if I wanted to. And
was that a tough choice at that time?
It was, actually, I wanted to stay there. I didn't want to come back. So in that sense, it wasn't a tough choice, in that being in that realm was so much better than being here, simply because I felt so incredible. And here I had this sick and dying body, and I didn't want, so I couldn't see any good reason to come back into this body, because I was suffering, my family was suffering. So I really wanted to stay there. But in that time, I also experienced an incredible level of clarity. It was like I just completely understood how it was that I came to be at that point in that hospital bed, in that moment, lying there, dying from end-stage cancer. I actually understood how every choice and every decision that I had made in my life, in every moment in time, had led me to that point. It wasn't